All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it as always. Uh, Same shit, different day. You know how it goes. So, how do I look? How do I sound? Let's start with that. Yes, LG, more fear mongering updates. I guess. I mean, listen, if you are scared of or call things, fear mongering because you're that scared, then that's on you. You are the giant pussy in the room. But everybody else, they're just curious to know what's going on. Other than that, and guys, you don't have to, kick LG out or whatever it is. He's already being a bitch, and let him be a bitch. He's trying to use bitchology, and it's not going to work tonight. So anyway, with that, guys, not that I'm actually in a good mood, so whatever. So let's get on with the program. So, also, uh, what is it? JW Survival. He lost his father, I think, a day or two ago. Sending out condolences to him, and I would appreciate if you guys stop by his page and send out condolences to him. Again, sucks to lose a father, right? So, let's jump right into it. So, like I said before, guys, my last live stream, I said I'm not going to be dragging this out, right? So when I'm done, if there are no questions, I'm going to be, I'm just going to end the live stream and then I'll start the next one. There's no need to sit there and drag this shit out. It's stupid, you know? Uh, Plus, it also allows me, when I end it early, it also allows me to work on my next shows or videos. Melissa, if I look tired, it's because I am. It was a rough night last night, so whatever. I'm always and then on top of that, I think I worked out too hard. So listen, I was all but ready to cancel tonight just because I was that tired, but I'm gonna power through it, and then I guess next week I'll do a live stream. Now next week, the first Wednesday, we are doing Whiskey Wednesday, right? So I was going to do it for just one live stream. I think I'll do it for both, but I'll be responsible and drink like very little. I'll introduce whatever I'm drinking that night, and then we'll go from there, right? So all I'm going to do for Whiskey Wednesday, guys, is tell you what I'm drinking, how it tastes, and then we're going to tackle the subject of that night. It's just something different to do, what you call it, I guess, on the YouTube channel, right? Because the same shit gets old after a while. Carla, I got this backdrop. My brother got this backdrop for me, so I have to ask him. But you know what? I don't even know. I'm not even gonna play myself and say where he got it from. I would have guessed Amazon, but I'm not sure. Whiskey and a cigar. OP. I don't smoke cigars. I just drink whiskey. Uh, those cigars. Listen, some guys make cigar smoking look inviting, but I really don't want to. Magnetic power. Don't delete magnetic power's comment. It's fine. He's another one that's jumping in here tonight and trying to whatever, trying to break balls with his stupid, first of all, magnetic power, and secondly, the same old, you look goofy, you're an Uncle Tom. I get it. I'm an Uncle Tom. Let me, fucking tap dance and step and fetch it for you. But anyway, so Lorna, what do we drink on Wednesdays? Thursdays. Tonight, I'm just drinking water. So I'm gonna keep it at that tonight. I what, vodka Mondays and then fucking beer Thursdays. I don't know, but we're gonna keep it simple. Very simple. I guess magnetic power was fucking timed out again. Oh well. It's not much I can do, guys. Again, a lot of my mods, if you piss them off, it is what it is, right? So I could only do so much as to tell them, please don't. But if you piss them off, it's whatever. You're at their hands at this point. Aaron Q, what's going on? What's going on, guys? So Yes, Uncle Ruckus is what they would like to call me. I guess I don't know, um, but whatever. Listen, if they here's the deal too about the trolls. You guys are adding to my views, so you're helping me out regardless. So the stupidity of trolls is that they think they're breaking balls and they think they're damaging the channel. But what you're doing is you are providing me more views to help my channel. And when you give me a thumbs down or a thumbs up, you're helping my channel. So that being said, guys, continue to hate because the hate is only going to grow the channel more. That makes any sense, right? So whatever, guys. Keep rocking, keep hating, keep bringing it. You're just helping the channel out. That's all I can say. Yeah, the trolls. It's weird tonight though. There's a lot of trolls on tonight. I wouldn't even know why. You know, like, and a lot of the trolls that are on here I've never seen before. Holy shit! Damn it! What am I doing? Sorry. Julio, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. Tennessee Tactical, if they're gonna, like again, be black on black racist or whatever the fuck that's called, it's fine. I'm used to this shit. It's nothing new. And if it annoys some of you guys, I do apologize for it, but it isn't anything new. It's the same shit. It's the same weak name calling that it doesn't amount to anything other than them, saying, turning around to their friend, yo, I got the Angryprepper. I called him a weak ass Uncle Ruckus, and that's all it does. So it does nothing to me other than just appreciates the trolls more because the idiots don't realize that they're watching my channel and giving me the likes and the views I need. DeAndre, yes, most white folks won't get it, and some do. Actually, there's a couple on here that do get it, and I'm surprised, but whatever. Yes, better than you. Trolls are probably also flat earthers. Please don't get me started on that. That's another topic I don't want to get into. At least not tonight. Not tonight. I have very little energy left, so it's like I don't want to waste it on too much bullshit tonight. Roaming Prepper. Google it. Google Uncle Ruckus. You'll see what he is. He's from the show Boondocks, which is a pretty good show. Julio, man, thank you for the donation again. I appreciate it. Richard Dakins. I don't know. I don't know if they are dropping off these illegals here. I would assume they are, but I'm not seeing it. And if they're dropping them off at the airport, I definitely wouldn't know. If they're bringing them by the bus loads, I still wouldn't know. Because I'm not paying attention to that. I'm paying attention to the bullets whizzing past everybody's heads and people ducking left and right from, getting shot at. But other than that, I'm not noticing an influx yet. Usually notice the influx. You notice the influx down the line when you see a community get bigger or more people. As of right now, I'm not noticing an influx. Right, Tom. Right, exactly. You'll see. Listen, guys. The crime here in New York City. So, talking about NYC crime updates. The crime here in the city is everywhere, right? And there's no. I mean, listen. There are certain spots where they're not being touched. Well, maybe they are because a lot of the what you call burglaries are up. A lot of the robberies, stick-up robberies, they're up as well. So, and then ass whippings for no reason at all. Ass whippings are up all across the board. So it's not even just Asians anymore. It's just anybody. Old people are getting their asses handed to them. So it's just up across the board. But here in the city, crime is still running rampant. I'm not sure why. Cops are on the streets. It's not like they're hiding. It's not like they did a slowdown or anything like that. But people don't give a fuck about the cops. So with that being said, the cop shit here is pretty interesting because they're on the streets, but crime is still going up, and they're still doing their job. Now, they are not tackling the smaller crimes, right? So the guys on these electric scooters and shit, racing up and down the sidewalks and in the streets, they're not really enforcing that. At least I don't see it. Now I saw an article where they were arresting one kid that did it, but that's one kid out of how many thousands doing it a day. So, again, cops are trying to take a backseat to what's going on, but you can only go so far with that, because like the broken window theory that was I guess announced by Giuliani, right? Rudy Giuliani when he was mayor, district attorney, sorry. When he talked about the broken windows theory, he was like, if you let small things grow and get out of hand, you get bigger crimes. So we are seeing more vicious crimes, especially with this gang violence, because it's going unchecked, right? So we have to assume, guys, that this is only going to get worse, and they're doing nothing to quell this problem. They're still releasing fucking criminals from jail. On bail, right? So they're not giving them bail, and they're just releasing them back onto the streets so that they can do it again, right? So that is not stopping these guys. When you don't have anything to be scared of, you're gonna fucking run rampant. Kids are like, oh, what am I gonna do? A couple hours in jail, then they're gonna release me to my parents, and then they'll fucking continue to do whatever they do. Now, if it's something serious like shootings and or murders, you're not getting released. You're in for the long haul. But the little things usually add up to the big things, right? That's the problem. That's the problem with the broken window. That's the issue with the broken window theories. If you let something go unchecked, it just gets bigger. Now, shootouts are happening in the streets almost every day. Just about every day, guys, there's a shootout somewhere here in the city, and it's usually between two rival gangs. The whole gang situation here in the city has blown the fuck up. I don't quite understand it because that's not my field. I'm not a cop. Aaron Garcia, man, thank you for the donation. Julio, thank you for the donation again, man. I appreciate it. So, with these gang violence or these gang fights happening in the street, I had a cop explain to me like how the Bloods run, but that was it. Like, he says the Bloods, for example, a lot of you know who the Bloods and Crips are. The Bloods, in at least New York City's case, I cannot speak for the rest of the country, but in New York City's case, there's like, let's say 12 to 13 different sets in the area I live in. Working in the Bronx, right? So I work in Morrisania in the Bronx, and in that area, there's like 12 different sets. And they're like a block apart from each other, in some cases, and they have beef with each other. But they're from the same gang, the Crips. But somehow, they branched off and started their own little sets all throughout the city. The Crips are that way too. I thought I heard something about Latin Kings having that problem, and there was two other gangs that were having that problem when they broke into different sets. Matthew Johnson, man, thank you for the donation. Right, so all of this shit is is again out of my element or out of my territory. I just report what I see in the newspaper, and if I talk to a cop and they break it down for me, I'll report it back on here. Southern Boy Prepper, man, thank you for the donation. What's going on? And thank you for joining me tonight. Right? So, guys, again, going rampant. Kids are still getting killed. Kids are still getting shot. Matter of fact, there was a gang shooting in the middle of the street in the Bronx, and I wish I could play the video, but I'm not. But the kid is, and I'm not playing the video for one reason, not because of the violence, because you really can't see the point in time where the kid who's, okay, so let me walk it back a little bit, sorry. So there's a shooting in Brooklyn, and 3 kids are running away from the shooter. So kid A, who's running away with his friends or his boys, or running away from the shooter, turns around to shoot the shooter, but turns around, as he's turning around to shoot the shooter, he shoots his own boy, in the head. Kills him right there on the spot. And then I guess the shooter ran away in the opposite direction, right? So with that, guys, that, and listen, I looked at that video clip, and I was like, man, that's tough. So when you watch the video clip, you can't really see the point in time where the kid shoots his friend. I watched the video like 5 times, and I couldn't see it. So I wasn't going to show it for that reason. But you might be able to find it online. It's interesting to watch how this kid fucked up. And not only does he fuck up, but he kills his boy. Right? So now he has to deal with going to jail for a large part of his life for accidentally killing his boy for trying to shoot at somebody that was shooting at him. So again, guys, the gang violence is just running rampant. Kids are still getting killed in the street. And these are kids. Yes, they should be charged as adults when they do shit like that. But these are kids in the street, and the mayor is really not addressing it other than to say we're going to provide better customer service. So this is how the mayor is looking at the city of New York now. We're his customers, and he says he's going to provide better customer service. No, dickface, we're the citizens of New York, and you're going to provide the citizens better protection. That's all. Now, listen, those citizens, they need protection. You know, the fucking people that can't take care of themselves, that rely on the cops and 911 and shit like that. And there's us, the rest of us who don't rely on 911 and are ready to fucking get down at the drop of a hat. But a lot of people, guys, surprisingly enough, when you want to get into a fist fight in the middle of the street, if you win that fist fight, the kid you beat up or the person you beat up will call the cops. That's how bad it is here in the city. You can't even get into a decent fist fight anymore and shake hands and walk away if the kid loses and you just, you knock him out. You don't like beat him into the ground, but you knock him out. And the cops show up, he's holding his eye, he hit me, I'm like, really? I witnessed that a couple times in EMS, and then I witnessed it, I don't know, a couple months ago in the street. It was just like, and the cops weren't buying it because they knew that they were both fighting in the street. But still, the fact that the guy turned bitch was fucking, both cases the guy turned bitch, it was fucking interesting. You're like, yo, you were willing to get into a fight in the street, and then you lost, and now you're fucking pointing the dude out because you got fucking rocked in your head. I don't get it. I don't understand that bitchery. I really don't. It's beyond me. Joseph, I can afford, and we are looking into land further upstate and further up north, actually, for a couple of different reasons. But yeah. But listen, guys, as far as moving out goes, it's going to happen. Now, we're moving out of the neighborhood come the end of this year, but there's something that might happen that might fuck everything up. And we might be staying in the neighborhood for an additional year. So we have to wait and see what this issue is, and if this issue turns into a bigger issue. And if it does, it's going to financially not strain us, but it's going to keep us from moving out. That's all. And as of right now, because of this situation, I'm no longer looking at a new car. Right? So that's that. And it's fine if we stay there for one more year. It's not going to kill us. Right? But again, as far as moving out, it's strange, guys. Everything is happening at a fast pace, and a lot of this shit that's happening out in the world is affecting us, all of us, at some way, shape, or form, and it finally worked its way to me and might affect me or not. Now, I'm hoping for a better outcome where we just bounce. That's the outcome I'm looking for. All right, but other than that, guys, it looks like we'll be staying here another year, but we have to wait and see. Oh yeah, Chris. Now, Chris, right? The whole fighting thing has gotten worse, but I'm 1,000% sure anybody in our age range, we can get into a fist fight, lose, shake hands, walk in the opposite direction. That's our age range, right? But now with the ages of these, I don't know, let's just say I'm 44, so let's say 35 and younger. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. I don't know if I get into a fist fight with them and I win, are they gonna shake hands and walk away? Or are they gonna run home and get a gun? Or call the cops? Right? If I lose, are they going to continue to beat my head in until I stop moving? Or are they going to be like, all right, he's out, let's stop, right? That's the problem with today's fighting, is that you don't know, and you have to win, because you don't want to take the chance of losing and getting your shit rocked and your head smashed into the concrete because of that, right? So, you're right. I don't know what the fighting is anymore. Listen, in the last 6 months, I've gotten out of my car twice and was ready to choke the shit out of somebody once, right? And that was me fucking going after him. So now, that was in the last 6 months. So it's three incidents, if you will. But nobody wanted to fight. They were talking a good game in the car, but when I jumped out of the car, they were singing a different tune, And then the one time that the guy got out of the car and we were like face to face, we just sat there and realized, both of us, we played each other. Because none of us were ready to set it off. I was waiting for him to swing. He was waiting for me to swing. We were both older, right? So this is actually a couple years ago. And we just sat there and we go, we shook our heads, we got back in our cars, and we drove away. And we were going to fight over bullshit. That was the thing. So getting out of your car for bullshit is stupid, right? Yes, Spock's brain. Hipsters do slap fight. But listen, I'm going to tell you, hipsters will slap the shit out of you so hard or so many times with their fast moving hands, it starts to sting after a while. You're like, damn, that stings, you know? Because that's what hipsters do. That or they throw vagina juice in your face. You choose. But I try to avoid getting in a fight with hipsters. Because getting in a fight with hipsters is like hitting a woman. It's fucking strange. Because they're like the weakest men on the planet. And don't get me wrong, there's some hipsters out there that know MMA and can fight. But the majority of hipsters are like just, you could smell the pussy on them. It's insane. It's, you know, whatever. Right? Yes. I'm smart. Yeah, fast moving hands till it stings. You did you're like, what the fuck is that? And that's their hands moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And before you know it, you get a red mark on your shoulder. And you're like, why the fuck do I got a red mark? Because he's smacking the shit out of you. Right? He's not punching you. They can't punch you. But it just stings. They smack you till it stings. Right? So, vagina slap. Yeah, right? The vagina juice shit. It's just, the guys, it's insane. Just watching hipsters fight too is insane. They get in each other's face like, yeah, man, yeah, okay, yeah, what, man, yeah, you get your kale breath out of my face, fuck you, man, fuck you and your ponytail, fuck you, yeah, yeah, and they chest bump, and then they sit there and they try to fake each other out. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? You know, they're like, yeah, what, yeah, you better jump. I'm like, yo, it's an insane thing to watch. It's fucking almost like watching National Geographic. You're like, look at these two fucking hipster animals go. This one's trying to fake the other one out. This one's threatening to pull his hair. It turns into a fucking all-out bitch fight. And it's 5 to 10 minutes of screaming and yelling before any smacking gets done. But it's the strangest thing to watch. I'd rather watch two old people fight than watch two hipsters fight. It's fucking embarrassing. But anyway, that's not the point. So, guys, back to the crime and the NYC Crime update. Listen, the city is going to continue to sink. Right? There's not much that can be done because we got a mayor that doesn't give a fuck. Now, Eric Adams seems to be talking a very good game. The guy fucking put his pride away, and I think a month ago apologized to the fire department for calling the fire department the last bastion of white racists, some shit like that, something to that phrase, and he apologized for saying that. And now he's turning around talking about being harder on crime and shit. So I'm wondering, like, what the fuck just happened, and who the hell is this? This is not the liberal I thought we were gonna get. He seems to be recognizing what's going on in the city, and he's addressing it, and he's saying it out loud. Listen, the guy's gonna win the next election, but the fact that he's actually saying this is interesting because he's going against the narrative of, you know, please don't treat black people right, you know, the BLM bullshit. He's going against that, right? Montana Living, do me a favor. For that question, please email me at angryprepper@gmail.com. I can answer it a lot better. And if not, I can also forward you to either Arkansas Living, if he's on here, or Hush Homestead, because they are like, you know, backwoods, rural area kind of guys, and they might know a little more about it. But I can answer some of that question, and I can hand you off to them if they're willing to answer that question. But there's a lot of solutions to that. I just don't want to get into that on here. Or maybe later tonight, if you ask it again and you're still on here, I'll address it after my last, what you call, a topic on here. All right? So hopefully you're still on here by then. But if not, just send me an email and I'll answer you the question there. Rita, we're actually considering Vermont, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts. And I know those are liberal states. I get it. But they are nowhere near as bad as New York City. Anything right now is better than New York City. And there's a couple of things I'd like to do in Vermont and Massachusetts that would benefit my pockets down the line. Eddie Rodriguez, I'm not voting for him. I'm just saying, I'm noticing what he's saying. But he's going against the whole narrative of, you know, like defunding the police. All the politicians wanted to fund the police. He was the only one that said he didn't want to do that because he used to be a cop and he understands that they're needed. But I'm not voting for him. I'm just saying I'm I'm watching what he's saying and how he's going against certain things. Listen, he did not have to apologize to the fire department. He knows that the majority of firefighters do not live in the city, therefore the votes don't count. So he doesn't care. But the fact that he still apologized means that he wants to work with the fire department on a deeper level, right? Because he could have made that statement stick and never turned around to address it. But he did. He apologized. So again, that speaks volumes to me. That I am not saying I'm going out to vote for him. I'm just watching what he's doing. That's all. All right. So again, guys, and yes, guys, I get it. Adams was a shit cop, and that was from multiple sources, even sources within his own circle, and he's probably not going to be a very good mayor because he's an emotional prick. The guy cries every chance he gets. I don't know if he's whatever. He's just a bitch or he just likes to cry to make himself look good. But there's a lot of shit he has done in the last couple of weeks that I'm a little shocked that he did, again, because it goes against the Democrats destroying this city. And he's out on it, according to everything he's saying and everything he's doing. So he's out on it. So that's a good thing. That doesn't mean I'm going to vote for him. So relax. Yeah, Bob Mann. Yes, I do. I live in the diseased land. But it's nothing compared to Detroit. Well, okay, it's close to Detroit, but not there yet. Right? So as long as New York City doesn't become Detroit, we're fine. We're okay. I was in this city in the 80s, and I remember in the 90s when it was bad. We're going back in that direction. We haven't entered it yet. I think, or maybe we have, and I'm just used to the violence. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. Armchair Nostradamus, you're right about that. You're absolutely right. It doesn't fucking... Voting for these liberals don't help. And voting for these politicians, whether they're Democrats or Republicans or independents, it just doesn't help. These guys are... they're out for themselves. They've always been. I've said this a million times. They're out for themselves. Right? Just Josh, man. Thank you for the donation. Okay, so yes, Just Josh. What's her name? Hochul? Governor Hochul of New York State. States that she has them on the ready to fill in the gaps. The problem with using the National Guard at that level is you're going to start using them at any level, right? Oh, we don't like what's going on over there in the city. Just send the fucking National Guards in there. Oh, we don't like what's going on over there in that town. Let's just send the National Guards in. Because if this bitch can make everything an emergency, guys, insane. Now, we're going to talk about Hochul in the Angry Truth channel later tonight. We're going to talk about some of the shit she said, especially regarding the vaccine and how it was created by God. We're going to talk about that a little later. Now, yes, guys, I am still going to talk somewhat about the vaccine on the other channel, and I'm going to play a 2-minute video on the Angry Truth channel. Now, the video is a factual video. The video is coming from politicians that talked about what they thought about the vaccine when it first came out under Trump. And all the shit that they said. All the things we argue now. Now, I'm going to play this video. And the reason why I'm going to play this video, because I'm going to see if I'm going to get a strike for it. So I'm willing to sacrifice the Angry Truth channel just to see if they try to knock me with misinformation with an actual video of the politicians actually saying what they're saying. So you got to wait and see later tonight what happens to that video. Someone just asked me, Eddie, yes, Swewell. I can never pronounce his fucking name, but the asshole with the red hat cocked to the side, he's still in the race. I can't stand him. I don't like the dude. He's just a fucking very immature guy for running for mayor, and it doesn't work, and his antics don't work, but yet there he is fucking running for mayor, and he's gonna place the fucking distance last. I'm not voting for him either. I don't know who the fuck I'm voting for mayor, but I'm not voting for him either because I can't stand the guy. Chris, man, thank you for that. Hopefully it does work out. Hopefully shit does work out. But listen, if it doesn't, again, we have a backup plan. It's called getting the fuck out of here, Globalist class wars. Now, listen, guys. Interestingly enough, I have to mention this because I'm I'm in awe. Again, Hochul making a comment about the vaccine. And then she turns around and talks about the vaccine and how God created it, right? Then this bitch goes right into race wars. I'm like, really? Like, Jane's Peach, thank you. Her speech was disgusting. The one at the church, very disgusting. I gotta find that speech as well. I might be playing it later tonight. But guys, the whole Hochul shit was fucking insane. The shit she was saying, you were like, yo, and everybody was like, good, we got the president, I'm sorry, we got Cuomo out of here. And I said, be careful what you wish for, because Hochul is the enemy. She is the enemy of this country. She's the enemy of New York State. You know, it's just bad, man. She's just a bad fucking bitch. You know, but whatever. We'll talk about that fucking moron in a little bit. So, let's move right along. We are at the 32-minute mark, guys. So, another half hour or so, and we'll fucking get into it. Tennessee Tactical, man. Careful is my middle name. It's fine. They give me a strike, they give me a strike. The other strike that they gave me fell off completely, so this would be like a new strike. So, it'll be okay. I'm willing to test something out on that channel, and if they give me the strike, then all right, cool. You know what? That's not bad. But on the Angry Truth channel too, guys, I'm going to talk about a plan that I was talking to with another subscriber. Another subscriber and I had a long conversation last night about what we're going to do to get around YouTube and their bullshit. And all I'm going to say is that Rumble and BitChute are going to play a big part in that, and I need a lot of people to head over to Rumble and or BitChute and subscribe to those channels. And even then, even if you don't want to, guys, just check in every now and again and watch some of the videos that we're going to be releasing in the next couple of weeks to a couple of months. These videos are going to need to be passed around as information and passed around and shared out the ass. Pass it wherever you can pass it. If it gets knocked, it gets knocked. Who gives a fuck? But one of the points to fighting this, guys, is doing what the media is doing, and that's trying to drown everything out with their bullshit. But instead, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it on a smaller scale, because obviously I'm a smaller channel. We're going to need more channels involved to do this as well. So every channel who's on YouTube, who's against what YouTube's doing, needs to help out with this. So instead of the blackout, YouTube blackout thing that nobody wanted to do because nobody wanted to lose money, nobody wanted to miss out on a couple days, okay, I'll give you an easier challenge. Start a Rumble channel, start a BitChute channel, and let's start spreading the information and the facts, not just any information, and the facts of what's going on with COVID and the vaccine. That's what we're going to fucking start doing. So, again, working on that. You got to give me about a week or two to get all the information together, film a lot of these videos. These videos are going to be short, and we're going to just continue to pass on the information. And happy Homesteader, thank you for being in on that. Everybody, guys, needs to help out with this. If we cannot complain about what's going on with YouTube if we're not going to come up with a solution and fight on the other side. And so with that, guys, we have to do something, and this is the best idea that the other subscriber, I'll just say his first name, Richard, and I came up with, right? It was, and he had another idea actually that I'm going to talk about later tonight. But right now, that's one of the things we got to do, guys. We got to continue to talk about what's actually going on and spread that facts out. All right. So, Frazo, I always fuck your name up. I'm sorry. Rumble, I've never done a Rumble live stream. I will do a Rumble live stream as soon as I get these videos off the ground. I would absolutely test one out in probably a week or two just to see if it actually works. No OnlyFans. I am way too old and out of shape for OnlyFans. Right, so, anyway, guys, that's the plan. That's part of the plan. I'm going to describe it a little more on the Angry Truth channel, so please join me tonight over there. All right, so let's move right the fuck along. I'm doing another update on the Palma Volcano. Why? Because it's the topic in the YouTube community, and apparently everybody's still scared this thing's going to fall off into the ocean. Here's the rub, guys. The volcano, if I'm not mistaken, created 16 acres of new land in 48 hours, right? So the lava flow actually reached the ocean 2 days ago. It created 16 acres or developed 16 acres of land, which is a lot of fucking land in 2 days. Brian Keith, if I have to pay for the live stream, then I'll pay for the live stream. It's not a big deal. I'm not, I'm not broke. I can afford it. But if I have to pay for it, it's fine. It's no big deal. Right? So now, by the volcanoes, in and around the volcanoes, they're still experiencing more shallow earthquakes. Now, the earthquakes are at a depth of 10 to 14 kilometers, which is roughly 32 to 45 feet, if I calculate that right. The earthquakes are anywhere between 2 to 3.3 or 3.5 magnitude, if they're still using magnitude. The air quality is bad right now. People are being advised to stay indoors, and if they're going outdoors, they're being advised to wear a mask. There's more ash in the air now, right? So they can taste it. It's burning their eyes. What is his name? Bear. God, what's the guy's name? Not Bear Homestead. Bushcraft, right? Bushcraft Bear, sorry. Or Bear Bushcraft. He is out there 2 to 3 times a day reporting what's going on with the volcano. And I think earlier today, which is 5 hours ago, he released a video. He said that his eyes are burning because of the ash, right? So now they're starting to experience the bad side effect of the ash being in the air, affecting their eyes. Of course, it'll start building up their lungs if they are breathing it for a long period of time. But they should be okay. So, yes, Kilauea, right, in Hawaii, also erupted, what was it, today or yesterday? Bushcraft Bear, thank you guys. Also erupted earlier today. So that's another eruption that they're going to be watching, because it was the big to-do a couple of years ago, right, when it erupted, and everybody was watching it, and they were like, what if it falls into the saltwater pocket? It'll create the biggest steam explosion they ever seen. And they're like, okay, all right, not the end of the world, but okay. And it might have been the end of the world for everybody out there, but it didn't happen, right? Hydrochloric gas. Hydrochloric gas. Hydrogen chloric gas. Sorry, thank you. Thank you, OP, for that. I was going to get to that, but thanks. Toxic gas and particles created as a volcano flow spills into the ocean. So, in addition to the danger of asphyxiating, there's something called a laze. Now, a laze is a haze and lava steam that forms together, and it's called a cloud of laze. This irritates the eyes, the skin, and respiratory tract. The hot lava mixed with the relatively cold salt water or seawater can cause dangerous explosion, right? So I guess that's a little different from when the lava breaks out underwater, and and you see those cool videos where it's breaking through underwater. I guess that's totally different from that. Now, when it is suddenly cooled, this is the lava we're talking about. When it is suddenly cooled by seawater, it creates a dense clouds called laze, a combination of lava and haze that contains dangerous amounts of hydrochloric acid. Jay Flores, thank you for the donation. That's the bigger issue right now. The hydrochloric acid that's being created from this gas. So obviously they're telling these people, stay away from this area. Right? So that's the guys. But here's the problem. That's not a problem. But this happens with all other volcanoes. This is nothing new. This is not the first time this is ever being done. People are trying to treat this as if this is the first time this is being done. This is not. This happens quite the fuck a lot when you get an eruption, especially an eruption where the lava reaches the ocean, right? So we got to stop treating this like this is the end all be all. It's not. Until that flank, the southwest flank, falls into the ocean, everything is copacetic. That volcano is doing what it's supposed to do: create more land, keep erupting, releasing pressure, causing minor earthquakes. It's fine, It's not the end of the world. Now, so the resulting cloud of laze also contains fragments of volcanic glass and particles of the volcanic ash that are small enough to stay airborne and get in a person's lungs. Although no one has been injured from this laze, the laze eruption, it can be fatal over a long period of time. And again, we all know about Kilauea just erupting earlier today, and that's going to be watched closely as well. But they also had a volcano, I forgot where else, earlier this week that also erupted. So guys, volcanoes are erupting. It's the same shit, different day. People are going to die or they're not going to die. That's Copacetic. It's the same shit, man. Montana Living, thank you for joining the club. Appreciate it. Yes, Eddie Rodriguez, thank you. Right, Mount Kilauea is erupting again. So again, these are what they do. Now, should we be concerned? No. This is what happens all the time, guys. Volcanoes erupt. Big deal. Greenland volcano, right? I heard that erupt. And again, guys, that's what they do. Right? Now, if Yellowstone goes, then we're fucked. But if that doesn't happen, then the rest is fucking, it's normal. It's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to erupt, release pressure, and go about our business, guys. You know? So that's, again, that's what we expect them to do. Now, unless they do some crazy shit like Yellowstone and there's another super volcano somewhere, I think it's in Europe or somewhere, if those two go, yeah, then we have to be majorly concerned. But other than that, volcanoes, guys, it does what it does. You know? But that was probably going to be my last update on the volcano because who gives a fuck at this point? Hey, Truck Campbell, I don't have a canoe. I have a raft, an inflatable raft, to get across the river. So hopefully that helps. I don't know. We'll see. Whatever. All right, guys. So moving right along. We're going to talk about the collapse, right? The collapse of society. Clearly, we are headed in some kind of direction of some kind of collapse. Whether that's America collapsing, the world collapsing, the supply chain collapsing, the food chain collapsing, our politics or federal government collapsing. There are a lot of collapses that could possibly happen within the next year, right? And I think society as a whole is going to implode. There are too many things we're trying to battle at any given time. People are focused on, again, the supply chain collapse, food shortage, which is definitely coming. We got the holiday fucking supply collapse where people are going to be out on Christmas gifts and shit like that. I know a lot of people I don't celebrate Christmas, so it doesn't matter to me. It'll matter to you, motherfucker, when you need a pair of underwears and fucking socks, and you can't get that either, right? So, yes, it's all collapsing, but thank you for that, Kelly. It's all collapsing, but we have to be prepared for it. See, here's the thing, guys. Talking about the collapse is very, very different than experiencing and getting ready for it. And the problem with getting ready for the collapse is we don't know what to expect. So there are a lot of YouTube channels that'll sit there and tell you what to expect with the next collapse. We don't fucking know. There are too many moving parts and too many variables with the next collapse. We have way more people now than we did, let's just say, 60, 70 years ago. We have way more people now that are unhinged. There are too many things that happen right now to sit there and go, well, when a total collapse happened, this, and this will happen. Bullshit. We don't fucking know. For all we know, the collapse can happen and people might just still get along. Things might still go by. Barely, but still go by. We don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. We don't know if society's gonna fucking spiral out of control and then we are in some Mad Max type situation. We don't know if society collapses, fucking John Kim Dickface is gonna launch a missile at us. We don't know it. The only thing we could do is try to get prepared for as much as we can. That's the basis of it, guys. I mean, listen, the supply chain shortage is real. The guys overseas in the UK are constantly talking about it because they're being stretched thin. They are, which I'm probably going to talk about a little later tonight, they're being stretched thin like you wouldn't believe, right? And, the Air Transport Association, the International Road Transport Union, and the International Transport Workers Federation are all saying the same thing, that their workers are being stretched thin, that they're also being restricted from going to certain places and visiting certain places. That's probably why a lot of boats are not going into port, because a lot of the workers are not vaccinated. That's probably one of the reasons, and they're not mentioning it. Well, these federations got together and unions got together and said, yo, enough's enough. We need these guys to get vaccinated. We need these guys to get some time off. We need them to get a little bit of break. We got to get these supplies where they need to go. But instead, these stupid restrictions from country to country are what also stopping the supplies to getting to us, guys. That's why it's going to cause the global supply chain collapse, is the fact that these assholes are still playing this fucking game with the bullshit. And instead of just saying, yo, fuck it, let's just let all open all the ports, get all the ships in, unload them, and then we'll deal with the bullshit afterwards. They're like, fuck it, you got to be vaccinated, you got to have this, you better be 6 feet apart. Oh, this boat has how many cases? You're not allowed in the port. Stay out in the ocean until everybody's good. Meanwhile, everything on the fucking boat starts to rot. If it's food and fruits and vegetables, starts to rot because they're telling the fucking entire boat to quarantine out in the ocean because they can't dock because they have fucking X amount of cases. So there's a lot of that going on, and no one's talking about it. Now, that's me spitballing that, by the way, the whole COVID and telling them to stay out there. Because a lot of the ports were open, but there were no boats coming in. So I'm assuming there were a lot of cases on those boats, and they told those boats to stay out there, right? So no shit. Merritt Island, man, I would like to see that. Angryprepper@gmail.com. Thank you. Right, and so guys, I mean, listen, what are we going to do, right? We're going to do what we are going to do. I think as preppers, guys, we're going to be fine. A lot of us are going to be fine. Not all of us, a lot of us. Listen, I could even get fucked with this whole thing, being in the city and having a curveball happen. But I think a lot of us are going to fare all right. We are watching what's going on. We're paying attention to this possible collapse. We're looking at everything. We're reading everything, and we're going, all right, this is going in this direction. This is going to crash soon. We got to come up with a game plan. Now, all of us already have a game plan. Our game plan is to keep stacking shit, keep buying shit until we can't buy anything anymore. And then, when it totally collapses, well, we were prepared for it. But that is the basis of it, man. We are going to be ready for this. We'll be just fine. A lot of people, unfortunately, won't be fine. They are, unfortunately, going to bite the bullet. It is what it is. Right, so sorry, I had to type something in, a note to myself. All right, guys, so, and listen, the unprepared, those who are still gallivanting, frolicking, breakdancing, eating kale chips, fucking worried about their next hipster clothing line coming out, those people are going to be fucked. I'm not going to sit there and say they're all going to die, right? Because we watch those videos where all people are going to die if they don't do this bullshit enough. The human race has survived so much. Even these weak-ass individuals now will come up with a plan to survive. But a lot of unprepared will die, right? But not all of them. And some of us might perish in this fucking collapse as well. But not all of us. So again, the unprepared is where we're going to have a lot of the problems, because the unprepared are going to be coming after us and our bullshit. It's probably why the government is trying to seek out preppers, right? To see who's who and who's what. Forget about us that are on YouTube. They know exactly who we are. But everybody else who's hiding in the shadows, they're going to try to find out who we are and come for our shit if they need be. Now, the stock market seems to have been doing bad this week, right? It dropped another 500 points today. That's another thing, man. We got this financial collapse that's been looming for the last, how long now? 20 years, right? We had the 2008 and I think the 2004 dip or crash, if you will. But the big crash that's coming, that's going to be the one, guys, that's going to separate the men from the boys. That one's going to be a nightmare. The day that market crashes is the day the world turns upside down. And the day the world turns upside down is the day pandemonium breaks out, and now we're fending for ourselves. But again, as preppers, we watch this shit. We're looking at it. We're like, okay, this is going to get bad, but you know what? We're ready for it. We got this under control. We got this shit. So again, we'll be fine. Sharon, yes, the government's going to try to take our shit. They're not going to find all of it, right? You think I keep all my preps in my house? You think I keep all my preps in my storage unit? I don't. So again, they're going to have a fucking hard time finding probably 40% of my shit, right? The other 60% is here topside, but I've been stashing into the other 40%. So again, good luck finding that shit. We can only be ready for so much, guys, and we got to be ready for as much as we can. Other than that, we should get. Oh God, Patty, why'd you ask me that question? I have not done any canning yet. You know what I did though? I did take the box out and I looked at it. I opened it. I looked inside again. I was like, okay, close it up and put it back. So I am 2 steps closer one step closer to canning. I was supposed to get carrots the other day. I just never got around to it. You know, I just didn't get around to it. I got to get around to it. I was going to do it tomorrow, but I can't. Something popped up. I got to get it done. So, you know, whatever, man. I'll eventually get to it at some point. Maybe I'll do it this weekend and film it. I don't know. I really don't know. All right, guys. So this is the point where I ask you guys, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Whatever floats your boat, whatever rocks your shit. You know, helps out with the algorithm. These you haters are still on here, still hating and fucking grinding your teeth because he's getting too much attention. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs down as well, because you know you people help out, and you stupid people need some shout outs as well. So I give you the shout outs. Stupid trolls, hit the thumbs down. It helps out with the algorithm just the same. All right. Yes, I'm probably never gonna use. No, I'm gonna use a can. I'm pretty sure I am. I'm getting close. I'm getting closer. I'm like, yo. I looked at my jars the other day, which I also discovered the jars that I have are too big for that cannon. I did discover that, so I need smaller jars. So I'm gonna order those this week, and the wife's not gonna be happy about it, but I'm gonna order a couple of those cases this week, and I should be fine. But I have these giant motherfucking jars, and I'm like, shit, man, I bought the wrong size. Teresa, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. And Nate B, thank you for the donation. Nate B says, stacking silver, crypto, and food. Have my well pumped fitted. Okay, solar panels, battery. New York City's already dead. Need my paycheck, though. Unvaxxed forever. Very good. Yes, New York City's going to be fucked. I mean, listen, when the collapse happens, hopefully I won't be here when it happens. But if it does, I do, again, have a backup plan. You cannot live in the city, guys, and not have a backup plan. You know what? It's just, you have to have a plan. There's no fucking way possible you live in the city and go, I'm going to weather it out here. No, the fuck you're not. Listen, there's certain disasters and there's certain events that you can weather out in the city. And that's very few. But when the shit hits the fan and the table's fucking upside down, guys, you're going to have to leave. For example, if the stock market crashes tomorrow and it crashes big, I would be inching my way out of the city over the next week because shit's going to get exponentially bad. Especially if the following week the market continues to go down. I'm out of here. What do you think is going to happen? There are going to be a lot of homeless motherfuckers. Christmas is definitely going to be ruined. And yes, guys, I like celebrating Christmas because it's one of the times that I'm actually relaxed. For all of the years, or all 12 months rather, sorry, Christmas is about the only time I really like and I really enjoy. You got to ride this one, bro. Chuck Norris Gun Club. No, this one I'm not going to be able to ride out. But I'm saying there's certain situations where you would be able to ride it out. What's coming, you're definitely not going to ride this shit out. It's no fucking way. It's just going to get that bad. Dawn, thank you for that. Now it's fucking a little too late. I know that, and I mean, I know you can't can gallon jars, and I have quarts, but my pot is not big enough for the quarts. Right, it's the larger ones. It's just too big for us. I got to get smaller jars, and I got like those little what you call it jars too, but I can't. I mean, unless I'm making jam or some shit, I'm not going to use those. But I can definitely use them to put like certain condiments and shit in them and put it away. But yeah, listen, I get the basics of it. Oh, that's the other thing I did. I opened the canning book that I have, and I got to page like 5. So, guys, I'm making strides. I'm making some moves, right? I'm getting there. It's just going to take me a little while. But I looked at the book, and I'm like, oh, shit, this is how you can. And then I closed the book, and I put it back. So, I'm getting close to the canning. That's all I can say. And I'm definitely going to be canned and ready to rock and roll before the dark winter. All right, guys, we got 5 minutes left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump. You're going to have to give me a couple minutes before I start the Angry Truth channel. I want to find that horrendous video of Hochul and her save the fucking horrendous. If I can get that transported over to the eCam here, I'm going to play it as well. Hopefully that doesn't get me a strike either, but we shall see. This is the sacrificial video, if you will, for next live stream. So we'll see what goes on and how it goes down. Oh, by the way, guys, when I did that live stream yesterday, right? Remember, for those of you that were watching, remember when I said I stopped talking because there was music in the background? Well, the YouTube pinged the video for copyright infringement, which is not a strike against me. They just, what they do is that they give the owner of that song any money made, right? So for all the commercials you guys watch and shit like that, that money goes towards the owner of the record, right? Or the music, sorry. And with that, they also give you the option of cutting out that section of the video. That's why I stopped talking, so that if I have to cut that section out, you guys are not missing anything. Now the video's back to being monetized to me, but those assholes probably made like a couple of $100, or maybe not even that, maybe $60-$70 they got from me using it, but I cut it out. So when I do these walks in the streets, though winter is coming, I don't have to worry about that much anymore, because people are going to be indoors, and I could do my live streams in the cold and not have to worry about music. But when the summer comes around and I get quiet and I'm walking by music, that's because I know, or I think I might have to cut out that section of the video, which was only like 30 seconds or 35 seconds or whatever it was. Right, well, you know what I could do? Thank you, Northern Girl Hobbies. What I can do is just, I can also mute the mic. I could do that as well. So then I don't have to fucking edit anything out. I could mute the mic. That might be the better option, actually. Dehydrators, I'm getting a new one. The wife's not happy about that, but I'm getting a new dehydrator. And I would love to get a freeze drying machine, but it's just too bulky, too big. I don't have the room, and I do not feel like pulling out all the power from my building to do so. So, but if I get a house, I'm definitely doing that. Muting the mic works. Yep. Yes, Monger. Yeah, that's what I should have did. And you guys are right. I should have muted the mic instead of just sitting there cutting the part out. Because then what happens is when you cut that part out in the editing phase on YouTube's actual website, it takes hours for it to process. So while I'm doing that, while it's processing, those guys at the music label, the record label, are getting money for, you know, whatever they see. Debbie Sims, I will show the camera in the next video. I don't have it here. It's actually at home. I'm in a makeshift studio, if you will. News Watcher, yes, she is. She absolutely is. Because you leave it to me, man, I'll buy everything prepping. I will fucking go broke buying every prepper item I want and don't need, you know? And that's my problem. But right now, I'm actually putting money away and saving money because we want to get into a couple other ventures, right? Yarn Prepper, I might be getting the Excalibur. I'm looking at the Excalibur, the sexy one with the tray and the shelves that come out. That's fucking nice. That's the sexiest dehydrator I've ever seen. I'd buy all the dehydrators if I could. But Patreon. I have a Patreon account. For those of you that don't know, I have a Patreon account, and this month we are doing a contest on a bag and a dehydrator, right? So on the Patreon account, you know, it's a gear of the month, and the bag is going to be the 511, I forgot the name of the bag, but it's the one that I've been walking around with for about a couple months now, and then we're going to do a dehydrator, give away a dehydrator as well. I'll be putting the video up tomorrow afternoon sometimes, and you guys watch the video on there, you join a Patreon account, you watch the video, you enter your name, and by the end of the month, someone's going to win a bag and someone's going to win a dehydrator. Right, so that's what we're gonna do for next month, and I'm gonna try to give more prepper related items away. The gift cards is when I can't think of what to give away. I have given away a few gift cards. So again, guys, trying to make the Patreon fun. I'm trying to get in tune with that a lot better. Also, guys, my podcast account too. My podcast is now regular. I've been putting up at least 3 to 4 podcasts a week. I got back into it. I put a lot more content on it before I announced it. I have one intro on the Angry Truth podcast as well. So you guys can do me a favor and head over to either or and like and subscribe. That's if you want to listen to me at that, you know, on the podcast. I know most people don't. I'm like, I gotta watch this motherfucker. I gotta listen to him too. You know, like I said, just give it a what you call it. Now I gotta find a link to the Angry Truth podcast. But again, guys, it's just trying to go down different avenues because I think with the podcast I could say a little more without being held, without getting a strike, if you will. And I could say factual shit on podcasts without receiving a strike. So that's why I've been going a little hard on the podcast, because I can say what I want and there's no big repercussions. And Gene, thank you for putting it in the description section. That's the podcast link in the chat. Sorry, the chat section. All right, guys. So we are at the hour and 1 minute mark, guys. If you don't mind, you can head over to the Angry Truths channel. We're going to talk about tonight. We are definitely going to talk about the Governor Hochul and her bullshit, the mandate firings, or the firings that came out of the mandates, more mandates that are headed our way, and is America done? Those are the 3 subjects we're talking about tonight, or 4 subjects we're talking about tonight. And hopefully I will see you guys there in about 15 minutes. All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight.